Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters Encounters video. Once again, I'm going to the reddit.com website there from one of my favorite subreddits that's called Humanoid Encounters. The reason why I love that one so much is because there isn't one single theme that's tied to it. Could be cryptid related, could even be ghost, or could even be something along the lines of aliens and UFOs, such is the case with this very strange set of encounters. Two of them that occurred to a user by the name of Bridge703. They titled theirs, in fact, as a couple of weird creature encounters for you. Once I saw this information, I knew I just wanted to share it here and then see what you guys and gals think about these encounters, like what type of creatures they are, and I'll try to give my own opinion on them as to what they are as well here in a minute. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's share it here. And here's what they state. Hi, so I've had a couple of encounters that have left me feeling crazy and super off. I live in central New York, which is where each of these happened. So several months ago, I'd say probably around February or March, I was at a park with one of my friends after dark. We had gone there frequently and nothing had ever seemed weird. My friend was standing off to the side of a shed a few hundred feet away from me. I was sitting in my car. I had been zoned out looking at stuff on my phone. He had been talking on the phone with someone else. It wasn't until I heard this strange barking that didn't sound human or animal-like per se. I couldn't figure out which direction it was coming from. The sounds seemed to be coming from every direction. So I looked up and saw my friend quickly walking down the hill before coming to a dead stop mid-step. When I looked around, I saw out my side mirror something was standing up from all fours from behind my car and then sprinted off way too quickly into the surrounding woods. My friend came running to my car, getting in, locking the doors before saying, "Did you see that thing? It wasn't human. It looked like it, but it was way too tall and skinny. It had ran up behind your car, and then when it was going behind your car, it squat down on all fours and then got up and ran off." The second encounter, this happened a few months after, was right after around the start of spring. I was with three of my friends and one of their dads. We were in the middle of the woods at one of their campgrounds. They had gone off for a walk, probably 20-30 minutes away. I had stayed back to watch the fire. Suddenly, the world had gone almost silent. I almost felt like I wasn't even in our world anymore. It's hard to explain. I then heard this woman screaming, "No, no, help, someone help me." I had just sat there staring at that direction that I thought the noise was coming from, which was deeper in the woods. At first, I thought maybe it was one of my friends yelling, but none of them sound like that. Something had also been off about this voice. After a few minutes, it trailed off and got quieter as the world returned back to normal. My friends had returned after another 15-20 minutes from a different direction than I heard the voice. So yeah, if anyone knows what these encounters are or has had similar experiences, let me know. Then that's it. That's everything that the user Bridge703 mentioned in their story. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here. For starters, creepy stuff, right? Both encounters on there. In one situation, you had them near a park, and then there they were in their car, and then their friend was elsewhere in some shed a couple of hundred feet away, which seems kind of far away from me, but whatever, right? Like that seems like that's what they were doing. But in any case, all of a sudden that he or she heard something along the lines of a barking. It was coming in almost every direction. But then things took a whole different turn when they saw their friend, who was presumably looking in their direction at the car, stop mid-step and like almost have this horror look to them. And then all of a sudden, that's when they realized that something was squatting behind their vehicle, and then this thing was apparently very large. It was very skinny, and then when it got up, it ran off into the woods, but really, really fast. Obviously too fast than anything you would think of involving like a human, something along those lines. And so when that happened, the friend came back to the car, locked it, and then I'm sure that they sped off at that point. But either case, they were baffled as to what occurred. What could that be? Somebody within the comments was thinking what I was thinking too. It was a crawler. Crawlers are known to be very tall, very skinny. They run very fast as well. They're associated with the forest. So in this case, they were near a park, so it's almost like a similar thing. And in a lot of situations, crawlers just seem to observe. They're not there to do anything per se, but the minute they get caught, then they absolutely run off. And then the second encounter also made it seem like it was a crawler because it sounded very similar to some of the other stories that I've talked about them as well. Here you have a situation where they were in a woods type area in the middle of it. Their friends had walked off to another location, and then the whole woods went silent. I have talked about that in the past too. It seems like the animals, even the insects, the birds, they all know when something weird, something really bad is around the area. And in this case, it was the crawler. And in the past situations, it was the crawler as well. And so the whole world stopped and it went dead silent. That is eerie. That is like hair standing on the back of your neck eerie. It's one of those things I imagine you just have to be there to feel it. But yeah, all of a sudden then they heard a woman screaming. Almost it sounded like a woman, but it was like it was an imitation of it, is the impression I got. And it was in a scream of no, no, help, someone help me, as if it was a way to try to lure someone to a certain direction. But the user didn't go in that direction, and it looks like it stopped at that point. And when that happened, the woods came back to life. Everything was as if it was hunky-dory. So again, I think that that's, again, something along the lines of a crawler. Someone else was mentioning in the comments a potential skinwalker. I don't know. I didn't really think of it in this case here because skinwalkers are much more dangerous. They're actively looking to do damages as opposed to the crawler. And in these two situations, nothing per se was dangerous, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys and gals think. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.